Hey, this is Anthony with RevZilla TV, where you can watch, decide, and ride. Welcome to our 2014 Motorcycle Tires Buying Guide, available at RevZilla.com. So in this video, I'm going to break down motorcycle road tires into three key categories: Sport and Hypersport, Touring and Adventure, as well as VTwin and Cruiser. And you can click right here and skip ahead to each one if it suits your fancy. Now, in the categories, I'm going to start with what I consider to be the no-brainer staple in each one of those categories, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about either a new entrant or outliers that you might not be aware of as great either upgrades or additional options. Now, remember, this is part of our 2014 Moto Gear Guide series, and if you want to shop the full collection and check out the other guides, click right here and visit those at RevZilla.com. Helmets, jackets, boots, gloves, tires, great starting points in each individual category. So in our Sport and Hypersport category for 2014, I have three key tires. Remember, Sport and Hypersport, that's road riding, commuting, and some lightweight track day riding on a hardcore sport bike. This is your Gixxers, this is your Cowies, this is your CBRs. These are great upgrades for stock replacement tires. And remember, guys, if you're concerned about tire size, use the tire finder at RevZilla.com, put in your specs, and we're going to serve up the right tires that are going to fit your bike. Now, first up, our hero for 2014, the Michelin Pilot Power 3, a big upgrade over your typical OEM tire. Now, we see it replacing the Michelin Pilot Power 2 CT. It's going to have improved tread life, up to 20% longer, better wet and dry grip handling, and they've also worked their way around a new tread pattern, which gives you better power to the ground in the center line, and they've increased your contact patch along the sidewall. Again, this is going to be your premium upgrade option, 80% street, 20% track, great longevity, and again, good wet handling on the street if you happen to be commuting, riding to work, or again, taking it in a lightweight fashion to the track. That's going to be your Michelin Pilot Power 3. So next up, I'm going to have my more technical Dunlop Q3, but before I get there, what I'd love for you to do is click here, subscribe to us at RevZilla TV, our YouTube channel, leave me your comments, your questions, your feedback, but more importantly, debate me on what you think I missed, agree or disagree with as part of our Sport and Hypersport guide. Now, your Q3 is going to be 50-50, more track oriented, a bit more technical, and you're going to look at the tread pattern here, more rubber, less grooves, better contact patch, more performance in dry scenarios. So they've decreased the wet weather handling by decreasing the amount of treads in the tire, but you're improving the contact patch. So you see more rubber, more flat surfaces throughout. You're still going to have a dual compound technology here in the Q3. Guys love this tire. You're going to get a couple track days out of it, but it still gives you just enough wet grip handling so you can ride it in inclement weather. If you get caught in a cloudburst, you're going to be okay on the street. Remember, these are all DOT rated tires. Last up in this category is a bit of an outlier, but a tire that we're extremely excited about as we see the growth in the small sport bike category. So this is going to be the Pilot Street Radial from Michelin. Ninja 250, Ninja 300, CBR 250 and 300, OEM sizes. This is a radial tire replacing the OEM bias ply tires that you get. Improved performance, improved dry grip and wet grip handling, improved longevity. It's a true sport bike tire that is modeled after the tread pattern on the Pilot Road 2. You can see it here, and again, leaps and bounds forward in the handling on a sport bike on these smaller displacement bikes that are great for starting out riders, great for those that want performance but don't want a huge bike. The Michelin Pilot Street Radial is really a new entrant that's changing the game. From here, if you want to shop the full collection of sport bike tires, click here to visit RevZilla.com, see the guide, or hang on for our Touring and Adventure tire collection up next. Next up, I have our best of Touring and Adventure for 2014. In this category, we're going to see tires that are set up for touring, which I consider to be multi-season, longer length rides, great in dry, great in wet, and then you slide a little bit further into adventure, which can be some lightweight dual sporting into 95/5, 70/30, or even a 50/50 capacity. And you're going to see the tires get a little bit more aggressive as we go down that food chain. Now remember, if you're concerned about sizing, put in your tire specs at the tire finder at RevZilla.com, and we're going to help you line up with the right tire size for your bike. So first up, our hero for this category is going to be the Michelin Pilot Road 4, a complete juggernaut, the successor to the very popular Pilot Road 3. Improvements for this year: 20% longer tread life. It's going to be dual compound front and rear, and they've changed the tread pattern and some of the compounds, so you're going to get a stiffer front tire. It's going to stop better. It's going to perform better in wet weather riding. Remember, this is going to be a great touring tire, multi-season, not the off-road or dual sport tire, but again, is going to work from everything on a VFR all the way up the food chain and actually comes stock on something like a BMW RT. And there are 3 versions. There's a traditional Michelin Pilot Road 4. There's the Pilot Road 4 Trail, which is going to be a little bit of a different tread pattern. It's going to be a 95.5. You can dual sport with it a little bit. And then there's going to be the Pilot Road 4 GT. That's going to be that OEM tire on the RT. And really what that is a stiffened sidewall for 2-up riding with a lot of luggage on your bigger bikes. And again, you're going to get a maxed out load rating on that bad boy. Now, moving on, let's go into our adventure category a little bit. And I'm going to start with my 70/30 tire. This is the Metzeler Karoo 3. 70% on-road, 30% off-road. And here's the key benefit. You're going to see a blocked chevron-style tread pattern that's going to give you enough area to move loose gravel and sand. Think about fire roads. Think about some light ATV trailing on this bad boy. But if we look at the tread pattern, you have enough coverage even into your sidewall, so it's going to be quieter. It's going to minimize on what I would consider that TKC humming that you typically find if you're into more of an off-road tire and you're riding on the road. So more comfortable, quieter at long ranges, and the new Karoo 3 is going to be 30% longer wearing, even in its single compound form, than the Karoo 2. So from 70/30, now I'm going to move into 50/50 with my Hydenau K60. And again, I would love for you to click right here, leave me your comments, your questions, and feel free to debate the heck out of me on YouTube on RevZilla TV. Now, the K60, we call it the TKC 80 killer. For every pair of Hydenau K60s, you will have gone through 2 to 3 pairs of TKC 80s. Again, that all comes down to the compound, specific from Germany, super premium in this 50/50 road to off-road category from Hydenau. ADV Rider, read the threads on it. People absolutely love it. We love it internally. A ton of us use it, and the guys at Rawhide Adventures out on the West Coast, the BMW school, use this tire a ton. Now, outside of the tread compound that gives it that longer wearing life, you also see the layout. The layout's going to be great for road riding. You see you have enough coverage even into the sidewall, again with this chevron style layout, but you have plenty and deep enough grooves to move a lot of loose soil, a little bit more hardcore off-road riding getting out of this K60 here. And remember, if you love the Hydenau idea of increased longevity, a bit more of a premium stance, a little bit more of an investment, but you don't want 50/50 in that 80/20 range to compete with that Karoo 3. There's also the Hydenau K76, which is really the brother product of this that's a little bit less aggressive. So from here, you can click here and shop the full collection of touring and ADV tires at RevZilla.com, part of our larger gear guide series. Up next, we're going to work our way into VTwin and Cruiser tires for 2014. Last up for 2014, I have VTwin and Cruiser. You notice 3 in front of me. And VTwin Cruiser tires are about 2 things. They're about longevity and they're about comfort and feel. Think about a heavy bike, sir. These are going to be your big Harley Davidsons, your Victories, your metric cruisers. They travel long distance or you commute on them. They need to be able to support that load, get power to the ground, and they need to be able to last. Now, keep in mind, if you're not sure about sizing, use the tire finder at RevZilla.com. Put in your specs, and we're going to serve you up with tires that are going to fit your bike. Now, from there, we move into our juggernaut. On the table, the longest wearing tire that we have at RevZilla.com. This is the Michelin Commander 2. Big upgrade. It's a premium tire, up to 25,000 miles on this bad boy. Now, when they released this last year, they moved to a new compound on the tire. Better wet grip handling, improved tread pattern, and again, a big step up in that 25,000 mile range. That's 40,000 kilometers. And again, that's going to be on your VTwin side of things and your Metric Cruiser side of things. Again, this is going to be your staple, and you can't go wrong if you can make that investment. Now, if you want to make a little bit less of an investment than the Commander 2, you could move into the Metzeler ME 888 Ultra Marathon, the successor to the 880. Again, great longevity, but not as good as the Michelin Commander 2, and it doesn't have some of the silica charge compounds that give it the better wet grip on the Commander, but a rock-solid option that's going to save you some coin and be a nice upgrade on the VTwin Cruiser side of things. And last up, I have the Dunlop American Elite, which is not known for its extreme longevity. It's certainly an upgrade, but there are really 2 key reasons it makes it to the table today. The first is it's American-made in New York. So if you're riding an American bike, you Harley Davidson guys, this is going to be the American-made tire to match up with your American-made bike. Rock solid option. And if I flip it up, you're going to see it's the white wall we've chosen. Narrow white walls, medium-sized white walls. Again, a great multitude of sizing on this tire to match a lot of different bikes. But again, there are 2 key components here that make this guy a standout within the category. And again, that's the Dunlop American Elite. Now, the next step in your journey is to click right here. Shop the full tire collection from our guide series from 2014 and watch our detailed breakdown videos and read rider reviews of everything I've shown you. You don't have to take my word for it. As always, this is part of our larger Moto Gear Guide series. Helmets, jackets, boots, gloves, tires. I've given you great starting points of the best of what's available for 2014. As always, we're going to ship for free, and if you want to talk to a gear geek about any of the tires I've shown you today, see us at RevZilla.com or 877-792-9455. Thanks for watching our 2014 motorcycle tire buying guide. I'm Anthony. We'll see you next time.